I'm very grateful for the opportunity to have to be a member of the Hall of Honor at Oakland University.
Here's Bader again, open for three. He's got another.
Count it.
Travis Bader can't miss.
He's definitely going to be, somebody that's a lifelong friend, somebody, that's always going to be there for the rest of my life.
I definitely think that me and Drew are going to have that, just a good lifelong buddy.
There's definitely a lot of things going on right now in my life. Trying to figure out what I want to do next year, if I want to play overseas potentially, or if I want to continue with my education and finish my master's.
Understand what the last 3 months has brought us to and molded us into a team. We're here to accomplish our mission. This is where we've been all year, right? This is our mission. This is what we're in on now.
The life of a college athlete is full of lessons. That has been the case for the 2011-2012 Oakland Golden Grizzlies. After previous years that saw Oakland establish themselves as a mid-major power, the Golden Grizzlies struggled through the early conference schedule, yet finished the regular season winning 5 of 6. The lessons of Greg Campy and his staff were sinking in, and the team headed to South Dakota for the Summit League Championship.
First of all, I just want to say thank you all for making that trip here to support the women and the men's basketball team, so give yourself a round of applause. Us and the Grizz gang and the women's and men's basketball team, we plan on being here till Wednesday, so I hope you guys packed enough.
A lot of great memories in this room, all right? But that's other teams, other years. You guys that were here and were part of those memories, you'll hold those forever, but we're going to make new memories. Our mission was set that it's these 3 days. All the rest of it didn't matter. All the rest of it was an education to get us here. Well, we're educated and we're ready. We've had this team down double digits twice with 5 minutes to go. In both games they came back. One sent it to overtime, the other one to a one-possession game. We have to play for 40 minutes. Play hard, play smart, play as one. This is where we've been all year, right? And now what happens? We celebrate, we do take bad shots, we relax on defense, we give up a turnover to a run out, and all of a sudden it's a tight game again. We've learned from that. That's what I said, the experiences, all that's in the past. This is our mission, this is what we're in on now. This is what the mission's about. We got a little bit of adversity, and now we've got to go get a stop. Come on. We had an 11-point lead with 2 minutes to go. We got sloppy, we turned it over, and they made shots. We didn't guard them. We didn't get the stops we needed. We just needed to get 1 or 2. We needed to make free throws, and we didn't do it. You can't flip a switch in March and say, oh, okay, all those things we did wrong that we never got better at are going to change. And this is a great learning experience for that. And so what happens? Well, we go home. The mission not accomplished. Well, I was angry at the moment when that game ended, as we all were. I mean, That in 34 years of coaching, that was one of the worst endings that I'd ever been associated with. You know, that creed that we read before we go take the court every game says, if I get knocked down, I get up. And I wanted to give Reggie a chance to get up, and he did. You live by that creed, we talk that creed. Tonight's the night to prove the creed. I really like how we went about our business today. A lot of teams would not have played with the intensity that we played with. A lot of teams, after what happened to us, would have wanted to, you know, go home for the summer. And we didn't. And now we're in it.
I use my imagination a lot, so I'm in my backyard like, man, Reggie Hamilton for three, I got the commentators going on and things.
He has his days where, you know, he's in his room and blasting music, or, you know, he's in your face making jokes, and, you know, he's just a fun guy to be around. You know, he's gonna be a friend for life.
I want to be remembered, you know, as a guy that got in the gym and made sacrifices to get himself better for his teammates, and a guy that always, you know, encouraged people, and, you know, a person that everyone loved to have around.
When I think of Reggie, and when I talk about Reggie to future teams, I'll talk about the work ethic and how he was always in the gym. 6 o'clock in the morning, he's in the gym. And he had great success because he willed himself to become a great basketball player by his work ethic. And he took a young team on his shoulders and carried them to the postseason.
Reggie, he's a competitive guy. You know, he's going to give you 110% every time, every minute, every second he's on the floor. You know, he's going to motivate you. He's going to make you, you know, try to make you a better player.
You know, Coach Campy expected a lot from me, and not just on the court, you know, but in the classroom as well. So I think it really helped me mature into, you know, a young man and a young leader in the future.
Hamilton hits a big three.
You have a player who leads the nation in scoring, but he's really not that player that you would stereotype for that. I mean, he's a kid that was your point guard, that led your team in assists. He had the ball in his hands all the time, and he was a unique player.
Wow, that was an NBA move by Reggie Hamilton.
Well, growing up, you know, shooting in my backyard, you know, you think about those things like that in your backyard. Like, you never know that it'll happen, you know. And for that to become a reality for me, it's been a huge blessing. I grew close to these guys. Those are my little brothers, man. And I'm gonna miss like the bus rides and just all the little things that, you know, you wouldn't think that you're gonna miss.
It's like my big brother, man. Me and that guy. That's my man. He's just a fun guy to be around. You know, he's gonna be a friend for life. You know, and I consider him as a brother.
I'm gonna miss those guys. Gonna miss our coaching staff, and just my family around the campus, you know, in general.
As team captain, Reggie Hamilton has contributed much to the Oakland identity over the past 2 seasons. But for his fellow senior Lavelle Lucas Perry, his lessons learned have taken a more personal turn.
It's definitely been a learning experience. Starting off in Arizona, learning under Coach Olson, you know, Kevin O'Neal, and then transferring to Michigan, and then transferring here. You know, it's been a long ride. It's been, you know, sometimes difficult, sometimes it's been, you know, fun, and, you know, it's just been, I think, a great learning experience for me. You know, something I can teach my kids and to other players. I don't regret anything because, you know, it's something that happens for a reason, and it's something that makes you stronger, and it's something that makes you grow as a person and as a player.
I actually knew Lavelle even before Oakland, and he's always been, you know, a great player and a great person as well. So I've enjoyed my time, you know, getting to know him closer and things like that, and I think that's going to be a brotherhood that I'm going to have, you know, for the rest of my life.
Well, Lavelle, you know, I think that he had some bad luck. You know, his first school he picked, the coach has a legendary coach, and the coach gets sick. And he comes back home, and I think it's very hard just to come in for 1 year, especially into an established program, it's been winning. I mean, you know, we're coming off a couple championships and that, and all of a sudden, boom, here I am. And where am I going to fit in? I think it's a hard thing, and I think Lavelle did a great job. He had some really big games for us.
I think his story can beat the people to never give up hope, you know, just always believe.
I guess when the door closes, another one's gonna open. And when you have an opportunity, you have to take it and seize it.
I think he did a heck of a job. We're very pleased that he's here, and as I said on senior night, I'm proud of the fact that Lavelle Lucas Perry is going to graduate from Oakland University. Well, actually, he already has graduated.
You know, I really thank Coach Campy. You know, I really had great teammates. You know, I've had a lot of teammates in my career, and these guys, you know, we stuck together, you know, from the good times and the bad.
His big role next year is he's going to need to score points for us. He's got to be that Vinnie Johnson. Well, I don't know if people remember Vinnie Johnson, but he's got to be that Vinnie Johnson type guy. We made it to the postseason, so it was a good season. Not the greatest that we've ever had, but it was a good season. But it was a season of youth. And that youth now will become older, and now the expectations will become higher on us. So there's things we have to do in this offseason to improve. And you're going to have, in my opinion, the best two guard in the league. We have Duke Monday, who's going to be eligible next year for us. And then you've got what I think is the best glue player in the league in Drew Valentine. I mean, Drew makes it happen for us. He does everything. He's that guy that, you know, does it all. He rebounds, he scores, he defends. He's our best on-ball defender. Although Duke Monday's going to push him for that title. And then our bigs are not freshmen anymore. And the biggest improvement that you see in a player comes between their freshman and their sophomore years. That's usually where you see the biggest jump. Now, because they're bigs, that's not always true. And if we do that and we improve like we do and we get bigger and stronger like we have to do, you know, I think next year's got a chance to be a really, really good year.
Petros.
Nice. I've learned a lot. The most is listen, trust what the coaches are telling you. I've learned the pace of the game is different from bigger schools and littler schools that we play. In the off season, just working on improving my game inside out, having to be able to shoot from around. That's the mindset you got to have if you want to be better than everyone else. Start working right away and just improve your game, because you know everyone else in the country is going to be working hard, but you just got to outwork them so you can be better than them.
Petros had an interesting year. His year was kind of flip-flopped for a freshman. Usually freshmen struggle early, and you know, and like Kyle did, you know, and then all of a sudden you see this improvement and you see confidence grow. Corey started with great confidence. He came in with a swagger and had great confidence and had a great first 10 to 13 games. And you know, his year kind of went like this and then down, and then it started coming back up. And that's the good sign, is that we saw it was coming back up.
Bass looking for some room with a nice bank shot off the glass.
I think that I'm battle tested. I feel that I've gone through a lot of stuff while I've been here in my 2 years, and it has prepared me to be the leader that they'll need next season. Just make sure I stay very vocal, lead by example. Just always, even in the down times, make sure I'm always very vocal, just to show the guys that I'm always there.
His big role next year is he's going to need to score points for us. He's got to be that Vinnie Johnson. Well, I don't know if people remember Vinnie Johnson, but he's got to be that Vinnie Johnson type guy that can come in and put up 12 points in, you know, 2 or 3 minutes, and you know, gets it going, and you just give him the ball and get out of his way.
We just have to get better. As Corey kind of said, you have to stay in the weight room, get stronger as a team, and just make sure we stay close so we can just keep getting better.
As the men's team stares at a bright future, the ladies contemplate theirs as well. Leading the way will be returning All-Summit League first-team guard Bethany Waterworth.
Coming in this season, I expected Bethany to score and to carry us, and she did.
Well, I knew my role on the team was to be a scorer, and coming in, my teammates really put me in a good position to do that, and I feel like our team was, we may not have had the greatest year, but we definitely showed our fight and our determination. It's a really nice honor to get recognized by the league and really to be up there with some good players in our league. But again, going back to the team, my teammates were the ones who put me in a position to get that award, and I really like to say it's a team award.
She is shy, and that's sometimes her leadership quality. You want your leaders, she leads by example, and sometimes we just want her to get all over her teammates vocally, and she struggles with that a little bit because she is a little bit shy. But she had glimpses of that this year where she confronted in a good way, in a good leadership style way, and she's coming into her own that way.
I would consider myself shy out on the court. I think my personality does change a little bit. I think I'm more relentless out there, really a fighter out there, and I guess you can't be shy when you're out on the court, so I definitely think I'm very aggressive out on the court, which, that's something that you need to have. As the only senior, I will be the only senior next year, so I think a big part of that is going to be leadership. It's going to be kind of weird being the only senior. We had 2 seniors this year, but we are very young. This past year we had 2 great leaders in Brittany Carnego and Sharice Calhoun. So kind of looking up to them, I'm able to take some aspects of their leadership and I think hopefully put into play. So I think I'm ready.
So we did something that nobody's ever done, and we turned a disappointment into a huge success, and we walk away from the year thinking, man, we had a pretty good year.
A total of 212 Oakland student athletes, compiling all 18 varsity teams, attained the Golden Grizzlies Excellence in Academic honor for the fall of 2011. To be selected for the academic all-league team, a student athlete must have at least a 3.0 GPA during their season of competition and have used a semester of eligibility. It's the 5th consecutive term that Oakland has placed the most student athletes on the academic all-league team.
All right, 40 minutes away from a Final Four. It's not the big dance, but I'll take a Final Four in the little dance. There's 32 teams from LA to Manhattan that started in this thing. We're 40 minutes away from being in the Final Four. 40 minutes away from something very, very special. Something we'll remember the rest of our lives. I don't know if you understand how important of a win that was for us. You got a guy, a president who's believed in you, that allowed us to play home games, and you came through for him. Well, the Rice game meant everything because not only did it get us to 20, if we can keep the streak going 7, 8 years, nobody's going to look back and say, oh, you just barely got it to your 4th year. But we kept the streak alive. To beat 2 Conference USA teams, to do it on our floor, and to do it to have an 18-point lead at halftime, and to walk away from that knowing what it meant for Reggie, knowing what it meant for the program, knowing what it meant for the team. Yeah, I was really happy. There are very few times during a basketball season that you can take your coat off after a game and sit down and just put your feet up and smile and say, yeah, we got a chance to prolong it, keep playing, get down to being where there's only 6 or 7 teams left in the country still practicing and playing. We need 40 minutes of Oakland basketball. It's going to take 40 minutes. You got to make shots. Step up and make shots. Players make plays, right? That time of the year, March, players make plays. we live by a creed. We say it every time before we go out and play, and we try and live by that creed. And no team I've coached has ever lived by it as well as you guys lived by it. Things didn't go our way this year, and that idea of getting knocked down, you get up every time, you get up fast every time, you overcome adversity, and you do all those kind of things. This team did that. We picked ourselves up, we didn't quit, and we lived by our creed, and we performed by our creed. And I'm very proud of that. For those young kids, those 4 games meant the world. It really, really put us, you know, besides a 4th straight postseason, besides a 4th straight 20-win season, it allowed us to feel really good about ourselves going into next year and feeling really good. I mean, we made the Final Four of a national tournament. There was a 32-team tournament that you had to play your way into. We played our way into it, and we made the Final Four. No Summit League teams ever won 3 postseason games in a season before. So we did something that nobody's ever done, and we turned a disappointment into a huge success, and we walk away from the year thinking, man, we had a pretty good year.
I'm expecting this team to do great things from here on out.
Go NCAA tournament next year, it's our goal.
That's what we talk about every day, from the time we start to the time we finish. We did not accomplish that mission this year, but we had some really good moments along the way, and as I said, I'm very proud of the effort that we made to try and accomplish it. Next year, I think so. I think we'll be pretty good.
I am a warrior and a member of the team. I serve Oakland University and its nation of fans. I will always place the team first. I will never accept defeat. I will never quit. I persevere and thrive on adversity. My team expects me to be physically harder and mentally stronger than my enemies. If knocked down, I will get up every time. I will draw on every remaining ounce of strength to protect my teammates to accomplish our mission. I am never out of the fight. I'm an Oakland University basketball athlete, and I guard the traditions, values, and those who carry the great before me.